Good night, good night, good night, good night, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Males podcast. We are still in season one, and this is episode nine. And as you can see, we have a stack host tonight because these gentlemen decide that they're going to come forward and they want to go ahead and talk about the topics that we have at hand. So let me give you a quick introduction. So we have Mr. Vincent right up top. You could just raise your hand so the beautiful ladies in the comment section can see what's going on. We have Mr. Raggy, as always, back again with us. We have Mr. Warren, the stern one, is back here with us over there. We have a new member, Mr. Corey, with us. I went to high school with this guy. I played cricket with this guy. So who want to know about my cricket credentials can ask this guy about it. We have Mr. Jason Craig with us as well. And another newcomer. Yeah, see the show, like the show, and want to come on and share his views. We have Mr. Ryan with us, who is a part of the Gelding community, like myself, like Raggy. So
Like myself too.
we're and Warren, we're Geldings United, and
Yeah.
we have Mr. Devin with us as well. So thank you, gentlemen, for coming. We're definitely just going to dive right into it because we have a lot to talk about, and we have a lot of persons to give their input. So,
Score from
obviously,
George's comes.
huh?
A score from George's.
Corey from George's, Mr.
Yes, sir. Hold
Cohen.
that.
Cohen, man. All right, but we can do the meet and greet after. We can do the meet and greet and shake hands after. But I want to start, Mr. Vincent, I want to start with you first and foremost because you are a father, you have a son, and you have a daughter. So I'm going to ask you the son portion first, and then I'm going to ask you the daughter portion after. If your son come to you, Daddy, I believe I like boys. Daddy, I believe I am gay. How do you address the situation where that is concerned?
Woo! All right. Well, I mean, definitely I got to. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get upset coming from where you're coming from and who I am, my background. That would have sunk me. That would have sunk me seriously. Um, to hear that.
Uh-huh.
The truth is, I have always believed that your children will eventually have to make their own decision. They eventually will have to make their own choices. What I try to do is to influence them at an early age as to what are the choices or where they are supposed to go. I try to live a life of example unto them so that they can see so that my daughter understand what a man is, who a man is, a father is, that my son start to understand who a man is. And that's the example I try to live for them. Nevertheless, in various situations, various homes, you have this situation arise. For me personally, though, I know that it is not a lifestyle that I would have entertained in my house. If you are older and you move out on your own and you're in your lifestyle, there's
All
nothing I
right.
can do about that.
Stick a pin right there. So you said
Mhm.
that's not a lifestyle that you will entertain in your house. So
Correct.
are you now saying that if your son, let's say 10, 11, 12 years old, Daddy, I am gay, and this is what I want to do. I like boys. I want to bring my friend over because I like him very much,
No, no,
and I
you don't
want to
have to go
spend
any
time.
further. You don't have to go further, Kims. No, bring what? The Kims just say no. All right. When you are like my father would have said to me, when you want to do what you want to do, ensure you're pushing your own key. Otherwise, my rules apply and my rules it is. You live by my rules, or go push your own key in your own door. Simple. And that's the same thing. In fact, I have said as much to my son. You understand? We have because my son is not young. My son is 20 years old this year. You understand? And we would have had certain conversation and certain run-ins, as a matter of fact. Just like I would have had with my father, even though you try to be different and stuff like that. And I've
Mhm.
always been clear. The truth is, you are big. You can do what you want to do, but you will have to do it at your place. So there is no bringing over. At the age of 10, 12, 13, I mean,
All right.
you
All right.
you
Hold
hardly
on.
know.
Hold on, Vincent. Hold on, Vincent. So, all right, listen to this because as we know, well, I'm not a parent, but my parents used to allow me to bring over guys to the house regular. Not to say, I'm not gay or anything, but to play video games, to just chill, to just talk. So let's say, so why do your decision change now? Just because now your son has expressed to you that he is gay. Why it couldn't be the same? The friend does come over
No,
same way.
no, I thought
Go
I
ahead.
thought you were saying that he's bringing over somebody where him
No,
like or some
yeah,
gay
well,
friend or
well,
something.
well, well, him,
Hell,
well, him bringing up.
absolutely not. And in fact, to be honest with you, the man start express saying my game. I not even want to see no man in my yard where reason is concerned. And that's the honest to God truth. So the days I'm bringing over people to play a game or stuff, then them things they probably are going to just cut and done. Because I'm not going to know what is what and who is who. You understand? And I have a daughter. The same
Yes.
thing. I have my daughter. It's not like she bring over boys. She's not going to bring over boys. I'm not going to allow you to bring over boys. My daughter is 16 going 17, and that is just my stand. You understand? Not that I want her to go out and do it on her own or stuff like that. You try to talk to them. You understand? And you try to let them understand what one of the things you try to let them understand what is happening. Because you can't hide anything these days. You understand? Because our children are being influenced by so many different things.
Okay.
A psychiatrist said to me the other day that when we were growing up, we probably have at least or at most about 100 persons that can influence us. Our children have 5 to 1 million persons that can influence them. The fact that they are on so many different social media. You understand? So there are a lot of influence that is there. So you have to talk more, you have to reason more, you have to explain more, you have to talk more. You understand? But
Absolutely.
I am not going. Listen, like I said, you are going to get to the stage where you are old, where you make your own choices just like I did. I can't stop you from the choices that you make. Even when you're old, if you make your choices and you're a gay, it's not like you can carry your gay friend to my house. I'm not going to love you any less because my love for my children just in fact, I have come to realize that you love your putting them and you just love them. There's nothing you can do about that. You understand? You love them. You care about what happened to them. You
All
understand?
right.
And no matter what they do, you love them.
All right.
But
So let
no.
me. All right. So Devin, thank you for that, Vincent. So Devin, let me get you in because growing up, Devin, I know there's a lot of stuff my mother didn't allow me to do, but at the end of the day, I still did it. I still find a way to do it, whether teeth out and do it or whatever the case may be. So let us start now, Devin. You have a son and a daughter, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So Devin, your son teeth out, do whatever and do, you find out, say, hey, your son like guys. Your son like guys. He's out there being with a guy. What's the conversation you have with your son, Devin?
This is like you're saying he gets big, he's on his own.
No, no, not on his own. Like in your household, but in go school, teacher call you, hey, he was kissing Tremaine, in class today. Just like how you get called if your son a kiss a girl, but now he's just kissing
So
a
you
boy.
mean.
Yes. What is the conversation now you have with your son? Do you now disown your son, or is it a situation where, hey, I have to put my arms around him, I have to embrace him, I have to still love him?
Well, like I said, for me currently, um, I've not seen that in my son. That has not. And my son is 7. Like Vincent, he has big kids. There's no signs of that, and they are like they are like clear principle that are being established in my house. So like about girl, boy, because there are certain instances like my daughter, like I was saying to you the other day, my son was given a pink shirt. He said he doesn't want to wear a pink shirt. He said that's for girls. All right, there are certain things about there's certain things established. So like now, if I see him growing up like within the household, like develop certain tendency, I'll be disappointed. I'm not sure if I'll tolerate it. But say he's grown now on his own.
No, 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 no. So I don't want to reach there so yet.
You don't
I
want to
want
reach
to talk
this way.
about this particular stage. So teacher call you, hey, Mr. Cohen, I caught your son with Tremaine, kissing. I want to know what's the thought process behind it? What's the discussion behind it? Is it a situation now where you're beating, he's grounded, or do you have a conversation with him that, hey,
Oh, counsel and ask questions and see what along the line what is his focus, if it's something like how that come about. I have a conversation, but guess what? I'm not turning him out. I'm not turning my back on him.
because
If God forbid that's the way he wants to go, I'll have to support him.
have to support him. Wonderful.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
Corey, let me get in because I'm getting in all the persons who have kids first, and then us geldings can talk afterwards. So Corey, let me ask you now, because we have heard Vincent up top say, hey, it's not happening in his house. We have heard Devin say, hey, I can't turn out my son. Whatever the situation is, we have to find a way to solve it, whether counseling or not. So Corey, you have a daughter. I want to know, your daughter come home and let you know, hey daddy, you know, I don't like boys. I like girls. I want to have a girlfriend. What's the conversation you have? And you try to talk, daddy. No, I just like girls. How do you know? How do you handle that as a father?
I think it is. I think it is easier for me. I think it is easier for a father, a man, to accept a lesbian daughter than it is to accept a gay son. If some weird, for at least for me personally, my my wife would probably say the other way around. You see me? So maybe it's because I'm a man, so it's
Yeah,
probably different for me. But I'm a very liberal person. You see me? I'm not the typical yard man. You see me? Them thing that honestly, those kind of things really don't mean that much to me. You see me?
okay.
Being
Yeah,
honest with you. For me, my child's well-being, my child's overall mental state and happiness means the utmost. So
absolutely.
for me, counseling and all of that is like the youth game gay. Like you can't
Absolutely.
counsel him out like in my opinion. You just have to just
Absolutely.
hide and do it. You see me?
Oh, absolutely. Totally
So
agree.
for me, yo, me just have to accept it. If him again, me not talk about an 8-year-old that come tell me say him gay. Me talk about like the same age I expect a youth for same like a girl. You see me?
Oh,
18s and whatever. For me, and don't get me wrong, man, yard man, so it's still it's gonna be like something weird.
yeah.
Me never really been around nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I play the scenario in my head over and over and over. I'm kind of glad to me not really have my son. Cause man, that would have torment me. You see me?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, if my daughter tell me say, "Hey," I don't know. That wouldn't really bother me honestly, cause it's like for me, it's like every girl nowadays kind of did it so. Them
Okay.
whatever, it's like
Absolutely.
yeah, that's
All
probably
right, all right, cool. So I really, obviously, really appreciate the honesty. And now I'm going to switch a little bit. All right. So here is Mrs. Stockpole saying, that is how it is in the world right now. Most people bash the man-to-man relationship than woman-to-woman. And then that's absolutely true. And here's Token Graham saying, what parent would want their child to choose the most difficult route in life? At this stage in life, it is difficult to be a homosexual.
No,
And
sir.
then
No, sir.
with that,
Disagree with that.
with that being said, let me get you in, Mr. Jason Craig, because I see you over there laughing and stuff. Now, Mr. Craig, I want you to answer to that comment first, at where it is said that it is difficult to be a
Oof.
homosexual. Do you agree that it's difficult to be a homosexual? Not saying that you are knowing about. I'm
Yeah,
just
man, yeah,
saying
man,
that
I get it.
hypothetical.
It says a youth, you're curious. You're curious about all heap of things. So if you don't have the proper guidance, you can end up anywhere. You can end up marry some dolly or wind up on some dolly or wind up on some little boys or whatever.
Mhm.
So as a little youth, you really need proper guidance. So it's not
Absolutely.
hard to be a homosexual. As a child, I don't think
Well, not, I don't know. I don't know. I think your connection slip out, Mr. Craig. Connection. I think the connection slip out. Yeah, the connection slip out, man. Reggie,
yeah,
let me
sorry
get
about
you.
that. Sorry
Go
about
ahead.
that, gents.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
go
we
ahead.
are here.
You probably have to sign out and come back again, Mr. Craig. You have to
Hello?
sign out and come back again. Producer, let him sign out and come back again. Raggy, let me get back to you. Let me get to you now, Raggy. Do you agree with Tolkien's comment that, hey, about homosexuality, that's the most difficult part in life? Do you agree with that one? And I know that you don't have a child as yet, but I just want to ask you a question. When that time comes, are you willing to accept a gay son or a gay daughter in your household?
All right, evening people. All right, so here's the thing. What will be very careful how these questions are asked of me or to me. My child cannot be gay. My son can be gay. My daughter can be gay. That can't happen. My son is getting my name. It's going to be a reflection of me. My son can have homosexual blood in him because he has my blood. That's the first thing. He cannot love man. No, he can't love man. So you can ask me that question about a next man and how whatever. My son, Raggy Jr.
Raggy, hold on there.
Listen.
Without due respect though.
Raggy, you're foolish is that tax.
Raggy, without due respect, brother. Regardless as to the veracity with which you speak, that never change the fact.
But I don't care about your son and what. I don't care about that. My son,
is a hypothetical, brother.
Who I raise and who I train and who I grow cannot be gay. Cannot love man. Cannot be attracted to penis. It can't happen. This cut off. Me have my name. Listen,
Right.
I don't care if you're liberal. That is your point. I don't care. My son can't be.
Hold on, Reggie. So here is Kevin Jarrett saying you're in for a rude awakening if it happens.
That
Reggie,
is Kevin business.
All right, and here is
also cabinet. Listen, I have no problem with being gay. None. But for me, my son cannot be.
All right, so let me ask you a question. So let me ask you a question, Reggie. So I just want a yes or no to this, Reggie. So let me ask you a question. If your son come and say, "Hey, Daddy, I am gay," are you just going to say, "Well, son, out the house"?
Yo, hold on there.
First
the
of
man
all,
can't even answer your question. He can't even imagine it.
He's no longer
can't even imagine your question.
Can't happen.
He can't even imagine it for answer the question. It's not even a task to him.
You said he's no longer your son?
He can't be but my son can't do it. So the fact that happened, he can't be my son. Must be somebody else's child. My junior cannot love man. Can
I say something, Kems?
Hold on, Raggy. Go ahead, Vincent.
And in a little way, I understand where Raggy come from, because the truth is sometimes, I think training up your child is also an interesting thing, right? I remember I am in church, my son in church, young youth in church. We have Christmas program and all of those stuff that come up, and they were putting on. My son understand who me is and how me talk and how me operate, and he was about 8 or 9 at the time. So I think they had a dance and he went to church. They were in the choir, children choir and stuff like that. And, they wanted a little male dance. And I remember the young lady came to him. In fact, he didn't say anything to me. The young lady came to me and she told me what happened. So she said she went to my son and said, "Hey, come be a part of the dancing." And my son said to her, "You want my father kill me?" He said, "No, miss." He said, "No, miss." No, none at all. You understand? And I probably just said that because even as Raggy is saying, I mean, I do believe, and this can take you into this can take you into another realm, a discussion where people go and talk about whether it is something that you're born like that or you learn that and I'm not sure if you want to go there, so you understand, but I'm just saying that I guess Raggy is saying the way I'm going to grow my son, there is absolutely no, understand.
It's like my son coming to me. It's like my son coming to me and said, "Dad, I want to wear tight pants or I want to wear batty rider." Can't happen.
But that's different though.
Hold on, Corey, 1 second. Here is TS saying, being gay has nothing to do with how you're raised. Your kid will just be very good at hiding it with this attitude.
And
Can
if
I,
they
can I
hide it,
answer that?
I want Kems, let me just respond to that.
Hold
Yes,
on.
they may hide it, but it is not true to say it doesn't have to do with how you
Yeah.
are raised. That's not true. Because
May,
just like
may,
how we don't raise children that go and have sex with animal, we don't raise, even if them have the thought, we don't raise children that is going to thief, rob, all of those things. So
yeah.
don't tell me it don't have anything to do with how you
And
are raised. That
I
is
can go a
not
bit
true.
further. I can go a bit further. I remember Harvard, I think it was 3, 4 years ago. Harvard itself put out a report, put out a survey, what you call it again? Um, Research rather, stating that
Mhm.
homosexuality is more nurture than nature. So it's more about how you're raised and how you're grown up as opposed to gay gene. Matter of fact, Harvard research said there's no such thing as a gay gene. And
Exactly.
they attributed gay to be more about how a child is grown up than anything
Exactly.
else. So Well,
But
it does how you're grown
them
up
other
does
studies to go against
influence.
that twin, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm just speaking to what Harvard once said.
Uh,
So I
it-
don't know who else put out studies, but Harvard one specifically spoke to that.
I
And
don't subscribe to that.
And I can also add to
no, you
that.
don't have to
Just like how
subscribe
you,
to it, but I'm just
just
speaking to
like how
what
you
the
can be
research said.
born straight, you can be
Yeah,
born gay.
I can also add to that. I was listening to some psychologists speak, and they're saying that like when you're counseling persons who are homosexuals, like 90% of them or 88% of them was sexually abused or had stuff
Exactly. So it has something to do with
done
your
to
grown
them.
up.
So,
I
yeah,
think that
it's
I think that has
associated
something
with how
to
you are.
do with some of the cases. But come on, yo, if we're being real here,
Yep.
Zane, if we're being like real, I'm a born and grew up Jamaica, just like I'm assuming everybody else here.
Absolutely.
We all know that you in the community. You see me, maybe a couple years. We all know from my 3, from my 2, like you
Yep.
could tell. And yes, maybe mother the kind of girl him up liquor, but you could have just tell. Like, and some of the time I feel like no matter how which is why I feel like the download thing is such a big thing. Because none of them youth have to like hide who they are.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
again, that's just my opinion. I think in some cases, yes, there is a lifestyle, enough of them they're acting out, enough of them experience trauma, blah blah blah. But I just can't imagine why somebody would want to choose that life. It is such a, especially in a Jamaica. Like, why would you willingly choose like that life?
All right.
Knowing the dangers, knowing
But
why.
stick a pin. No, hold on. Just stick a pin.
Hold on,
Iragi.
No,
Hold on,
hold
Iragi.
on, James. Please, just a touch. For person saying that I'm in for rude awakening and I can't be saying that. It's the equivalent of my child coming to me and saying he's now a murderer. He's going to kill somebody tomorrow. That it can't happen. That can't. So take out being gay because I know it's a hot topic now. There are certain things my child cannot come and say to me. He can't come to me and say he will not be reading. He can't come to me and say he will not be going to school. He does not have that choice. That's a choice that he does not have. He can't make.
No, Reggie, wait, hold on, Reggie. Hold on.
When you can give me a chance, you give me a chance.
Yeah, may I give you a chance in a second. Hold on there, Reggie. Stick the point there, Reggie. Producer, put up back Tash with the diamond. Put up back her comment for me, please. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a little thing why I don't believe it has nothing to do with how you're raised. You see, when I was growing up as a youth, anything feminine, I made that. Barbie dolly, I made that. Playing with girls, I made that.
Kems, that are you. You can't holistically.
Can I get it? But Kems,
That you have
Kems, one
nothing to
sec.
do
Wait,
with.
no, Kems, one sec, cause your
You can't
fellow,
just say you have nothing to do with.
our panelists below said the same thing. Not because you grew up with females and you might want to play with dolly or stuff like that. It doesn't make you gay. Not because
Exactly.
you are effeminate. And I know that you have men who are effeminate. It doesn't make you gay. So to
Precisely.
put forward those things as to if yes, you may see a little boy growing up and him a behave girly, it doesn't make him gay.
More chances are he is though. 90% of the time,
Not
he is.
true.
Yes,
Not true.
90% of the time. If we're being honest, yo, we got all right. We used to go George. I went to our boy school, and it's like from first farm. It's like them recognize each other, and the whole of them just them have them little click,
And them go to high school and nobody don't know. You not see them do nothing. You can't confirm it. But you know, and then when you go to start, you know, you see them and them really start. And you say we did know. Like we did. Again, I'm not say every time, not every time. But I just think 90% of the time when they're like that, they are.
All right. So Warren has been very quiet. So I want Warren and Ryan, I want them to talk. But let me start with Warren first. Put up back Tash comment, the producer, please. As you know, I want to stick on that comment because I think that is absolutely crucial. She was saying that what role does social media, or what influence do they believe that social media have on homosexuality? Warren, do you believe that social media plays any particular role at all? Do you believe that it has? Here it is. Let's talk about the influence social media and entertainment has on these kids being homosexual. What do you think, Warren?
Absolutely, it does have a major role on them and what they become. I think it plays a role. If you introduce a boy to effeminate ways through social media, very young, I believe even though he has, his nature is to be a male, if you introduce him to that, it can cause some confusion how he should behave. And then he's going to want to explore. And you may very well find that him gravitate to a homosexual lifestyle because he was introduced to homosexual at an early age through social media. So I do believe that it has an influence.
Absolutely. Ryan, I want to ask you the same question. What is your belief on that? And if you have anything to add about, when you have your son or your daughter and they come to you and they say, "Hey, daddy, are you the nonchalant? Hey, no, zero tolerance. No, you have to find somewhere else to go, but you can't stay in my house if you are gay." Go ahead.
All right. I mean, I think more and talk to that part because I never want to go down that road. As it relates to the social media aspect of it, yes, I do think it does play a role in the sense that you can raise your children as however good you want them to raise, but outside influence does creep in and it can change the perspective in terms of what you taught them and what they want to believe in. Because when we grow up, we're told not to do something and do X or do Y. And we might watch a little TV show or we see something that we like and we go to school, get right or something like that. But so yeah, it will play a role. But really and truly, you just have to do your part as a parent in terms of trying to raise your kid the proper way.
All right. Devin.
I can answer that one too.
Give me 1 second, the core. Devin wanted to say something. Go ahead, Devin.
Let me throw something where some of these people are talking about. My fellow panelists, respectfully. This thing about just like how you raise a son not to be a criminal, not to commit crime and not to do certain things. And Vinny come with this foolishness about, sorry, I don't know if it's Vinny about having intercourse with animal and we don't do them things.
Me.
Those are garbage reasoning. It's different from like somebody that's emotional feeling as opposed to that's totally different. It's like A on the spectrum and Z on the next spectrum in terms of making a comparison. I would even say apples and orange because they are both fruits. So it's totally different. Not even apple and orange.
Yep.
Like you're gonna say, okay, my son don't go there and be a criminal and whatever, so he don't be gay. A totally different something that
absolutely
emotional feelings and all is different from him trying to have a practice that is, it could be taught or whatever. You're not gonna teach him how to be gay. You're not gonna grow his son to be that. And like Reggie was saying about it can't be that total foolish. It's not like you're gonna say, yo, your son is gonna be gay. I just something where will happen to him.
No, it doesn't happen. It's a choice that's made.
And then you're gonna say he can't buy that way with
But I'm saying it's
based
a
on your
choice
genes
that an
and whatever.
Foolish. Because there's no gay gene. Is there a gay gene? Is there a gay gene?
Foolish.
Is there a gay gene?
Hold on.
There's no gay gene.
There's no gay gene, so that's why I said it has nothing to do with your genes or nothing.
It's a choice. So we can agree that being gay is a choice.
All right, Reggie.
Not
So let me ask
necessarily.
you.
Not
Hold on,
No, him
necessarily.
not
They
necessarily.
can
hold
born
on,
with some
Reggie.
hormone imbalances. Kids can born with
But
hormone
guys,
No,
imbalances, brother.
and that doesn't make you
I
gay.
don't think we
It
should
makes
And
you
that
force
don't
healthy.
necessarily mean them
because
gay. That don't necessarily mean them not
No,
gay either.
Hold
But
on,
there are other
hold on.
we're going
contributing
to engage
factors.
in circular arguments if we continue because there's really no resolution to whether there's a gay gene,
Yeah.
whether you're born gay or not, because we'll
Agreed.
continue to disagree.
Can I?
I just
But
think
Yeah.
we
can I
need to
respond?
focus on what one would do if there
If it
was
happened.
in
All
Yeah.
right, no.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
no. Hold on,
two things I have
hold
to
on,
say.
Vincent. Hold on,
Mm.
Vincent. We have been on this for 30 minutes and we need to move on. So, Vincent, you're going to say the last thing and then we're going to
Okay,
move
just
on. Go ahead.
two things I want to say. One, as it relates to Devin, yes, there are persons who have sex with animal, but even more so, I remember watching a documentary with a gentleman who was into children and they end up locking him up. And him said when he was a child, all he wanted to be was with little girl. And that's all he think about, desire, want, everything. And that's what he does. When he was a child, that's what he does and has always been doing till he became a big man. Are you saying because he's like that, then why are we locking him up then? It's the same thing as a homosexual saying that's what I want to do. But I'm going to leave that. The only thing I want to say though with the social media, again, the psychiatrist I was talking about when he talks about social media, what he says is that these social media with their algorithm, what it does, it looks at what your child does online and the algorithm pushes material to them that reinforces whatever behavior and what is it they talk about. He said to me, if you and I did it for myself and realized it, if you are just talking now, when you finish talking, your phone even listens to you. If you go on Facebook or
All the
Instagram,
time.
you realize that
Mm.
materials are being pushed to you about things that
Always.
you didn't even
Yeah.
search about. So the
Always.
algorithms on social media is a great, great influence on our children. And we
Yeah.
cannot deny that.
I
Very
definitely
Absolutely.
true.
agree with that too. I agree with the whole social media pushing it. I think and I think they're trying to, as much as I don't have a problem with it, that's still yard man, and it's still not something that it's still weird for me. You know what I mean? And I think they're trying to normalize it, and them trying to make it look like say like every other neighbor have a gay family, like it's
Mm-hmm.
not that common. You know what I mean? Like them trying to make it
Absolutely.
is more common than it actually is. And yeah, I have a problem. Yeah.
All right. All right. So let me read this. I'm going to read Tashi's comment and then I want to go back to Token's comment and then we'll move on to the other section because I know Vincent have to go real quick. So Tashi's saying, just like we're in the plastic surgery age, we're also in the gay age. People want to try things because of influence. Every movie you watch these days literally force homosexuality on viewers. Just like I hear about this
True.
Bel Air something, they make Ashley gay or whatever the case may be. So I guess
Hey,
that is true.
you know what the
And
funny thing is?
hold on,
That I
Ryan.
found
Hold on,
out.
Ryan. Hold on,
Sorry,
Ryan.
go
Hold
ahead.
on, hold on. So here's Token as well saying there is no psychopath gene. There is no murderer gene. You have people that feel a sense of satisfaction committing these crimes. It is not solely a choice. That's that. All right. So Ryan, I'm gonna make you talk. Really quickly. But
Yeah,
I want to segue now from the gay aspect of it, and I want to talk about now the transgender part of it because I saw a picture the other day, and I was discussing it in my little group where Mr. Dwayne Wade, retired basketball player, absolutely famous, he had a son, and the son decided that doesn't want to be a son anymore, wants to be a daughter, no, wants to be a girl, right? Dwayne Wade has supported his son slash daughter 100%, right? Whatever the conversations are behind the scenes, I do not know, but in the public, he has supported the daughter, dressed like the daughter, wear feminine clothes like the daughter, and everything like the daughter, in order to show that support. Listen, I believe as a parent, and I'm not a parent as yet, but I believe as a parent, when you sign up and you say, okay, unconditional love, I believe this is a part of it. We can't love with conditions. Hold on, I'm just saying, boss, may I tell you what me feel? When you can't talk after, you can't love with conditions. If you have a son, you can't say, oh, well, this I have a turn transgender, I can't love them no more. No, you see me? And again, I think I saw someone say it in the comment section that when we have kids, we more tolerate a rapist, we more tolerate a murderer, we more tolerate a thief, we more tolerate all of those stuff. But once you hear gay and Jamaican is involved, oh, Yeah, you see, Corey said it many times, and a lot of people said, "Oh, me a yard man, me a yard man." That yard man thing is absolute garbage. You're a human being, no
No,
yard man. Yeah. Oh,
hold
no, me
on.
I make a
I
talk,
just,
Corey.
but
Me
that's
I make
what
a
I'm
talk.
gonna address this first, you know,
Yes.
because trust me, yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I really don't care, dog. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like. Me one of them man, me one of the few you them at Jamaica will probably have like a day bridge. I know say yo they get no, me not go sleep in the yard, but me have bridging like me they just that not make me gay. Me not in that. You see me? So that's just all me stay. Just like me a
All right.
bridging where I mean a
That's
gunman
a
thing. That
yeah,
me not in that either. You understand?
absolutely.
Me
Hold
just
on, but
that's
Corey.
just me. You see me? Me
Corey,
was
I don't want you to drop the gun, liquor. We're gonna talk about that, so I don't want you to drop the gun yet. But let me get you, Vincent, because I know you have to go.
Hold
So we're
on.
gonna
Oh,
talk
but
about
did you
this.
want to say something quick? Remember?
All right, go ahead.
Oh, it was in relation to the how media portray gay as support to make it look as if it's more than it is. Because recently I realized that a lot of actors and actresses who play gay roles are actually straight. So if it is that there were so many gays, why couldn't you find gay actors to play those roles? Why you have to find a straight person to play gay? So I think it's them pushing. I think they're pushing it. They're trying to sell it as the new normal, as opposed to it being that normal as they are trying to make it out to be.
very
Let's,
small
let, let's,
percentage of people.
let's yeah, Vincent. So I want you to talk about the transgender
All
part.
right. All
The
right.
same
In
Dwayne Wade
and
example. The
mm-hmm,
same Dwayne Wade
mm-hmm.
example we're using. The son,
Yeah.
hey, I want to be a girl. What are the conversations like for you as a father?
No, I believe, and let me say this, and I really don't care. I believe Dwayne Wade has failed his son in a very, very major way. No child at the age of 10, 12, 13 is at the stage to make life-changing decision. None. In fact, even when we reach 20, and most of you guys here can talk about being 20, 21, by the time you get to 35 and there, but you're like, damn, that was a stupid, you understand? When at 13, you're not ready for make life-changing decisions. So your child can come to you about what they want to do. It is your responsibility as a parent to teach your child, to nurture your child, to guide them in the proper way in terms of how they are supposed to grow. Full stop. You understand? There are things that my child will desire that I have to say no to and let them understand that no, this is not the way. This is not what you do. That is what parenting is about. It's not about being my child friend. Yes, I want to be them friend, but first of all, I have to be a parent. What is it that I believe and know to be true and correct and right? Clearly, the way we believe that that is true and correct and right,
True.
he has failed his son as a man. Full stop. And
Failed.
that's just my
You don't
Full
view.
think
stop.
it's more the wife pushing it than
Whichever
anything
one,
else?
you know.
I'm not, no, he is a
Whichever
man.
one.
You have to
Yeah.
stand up. You are the father. It's
Yeah,
not
him
just
Yo,
supposed to.
Anna her son. It's your son. She's
yo,
not even the mother. It's your son. So
I agree.
you as a man has failed your son.
Exactly.
I don't think a child
I,
that
All right,
young could
Vinny.
make
I
that
would that's
decision.
why I tell the man feel him son still. It may be real. For me, because for me it's a very sticky situation. Because
Absolutely.
if I was then if that was me and my son come to me and say that. I try imagine because it weird. That's very weird for me. That weird. Like, like yeah, that weird. Like your son I tell him want to be a girl. But then I say I don't want to come home one day and my son kill himself. You
Yo,
know
all
what I mean?
right, but God,
Personally,
Corey mentioned that.
personally,
So
I
if
think
I be
Dwayne
real
Wade is
with
living
I be
vicariously
real
through
with
his
you.
son.
I don't know how much I react. So I'm not gonna really judge a man because sometimes until you're in the situation, I don't know
Yes,
how much I react. Honestly.
absolutely.
But
Uh,
here's the other side to the Dwayne Wade thing. We have to be cognizant that as a celebrity, he has to know that his actions, where his sponsors are concerned, what he does with respect to his son being gay and his
Yeah.
son choosing that lifestyle will cause his sponsors to stay or leave. So I don't know if Dwayne Wade as a person is making the best decision. I think he is making the decision to watch his bank account as well. Because
Yeah.
if the story came out that he did not support what his child wants to do. Nike would leave, the restaurant would close down, the woke mob would kill him.
I don't think so, Raggy, because listen, I believe Dwayne, just like what Vincent said, Dwayne Wade supporting his son. I believe Dwayne Wade has got the most flack in the media all round. A lot of persons come on TV and say Dwayne Wade has failed.
But the persons criticizing him in terms of giving him the flack and stuff, those aren't the sponsors. The sponsors love what he's doing.
But I don't think the sponsors, I do not think the sponsors, if Dwayne Wade has come out and say, hey, no, that is not right, I do not think the sponsors would have said, okay, no, let's cut it.
No, I disagree with you, Kim.
He told the gays no. He told the gays no, and see if your Facebook account isn't suspended. You do it as a private citizen and see where you reach. Imagine doing that as a multimillionaire with. That's what I'm saying. It's tricky. So here's the thing. I understand what the parents are saying. You go to the supermarket with your child and your child puts 10 million things from the aisle into the trolley. What do you do as a parent? You love the child. You say, I can't afford it. You say, you can't eat chocolate and sweets and all of that. You instruct them to put it back because although what they want is legal, you as the parent said, listen, I can't afford it, or what you have taken up is not the best. You know.
Hold on.
But as a parent now, if your views is to be tolerant, you won't mind it. But that's not my view. My personal view is that if you want to do that, you can't be my son because my values don't align with what you said.
Yeah, but
so my child can't be me.
No, so Raggy, let me ask you a question. So when you have a child, when you decide to be a father, and I'm sure, when you are actually a father, we are going to have this conversation again. Because I believe that these harsh views that you have right now, I believe it will change. Probably not towards homosexuality, but just in general as a father. So we'll have this conversation again because it's easy for us to simulate as persons with no children to say, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to lay the hammer and stuff. When we have a child, it's a total different kettle of fish. And I'm sure Devin probably can attest to it. Corey and Vincent say, hey, there are certain things I say, hey. But then when the child actually comes now, it is totally different. No, we kind of get softened out a little bit. But Raggy, so let me ask you a question. And I just want a yes or no for this one. Would you prefer, if there's a choice, you accept a transgender child or your child commit suicide? Because I've heard there have been stories where parents have neglected the child and they have committed suicide as a result. So out of those two options, you accept the transgender and support them to the best of your ability, or hey, there's a possibility that suicide is committed. Which one would you prefer as the father?
I'll attend the funeral.
Wow. Foolishness,
wow.
Right?
Devin, go ahead.
You can't tell me that.
No.
You ask a question and I answer.
I appreciate the honesty. No lie.
That's not the only option, though.
Me agree with Raji. Kems.
I don't agree, but that's not the only two options. That's not.
No, those are the options presented.
That's the two options I gave.
Right.
Those are the options I gave. All right, Devin, go ahead.
Disagree slightly with Vinny what I'm saying, and I'm dealing with field appearance. But one thing I can agree with what he was saying is like, and Raggy even mentioned it too. I think most of it is more like them developing their brand more than supporting their parents. And I'd use the example with Magic Johnson and his son. I don't see Magic Johnson pushing his son behavior like that. And Magic Johnson's son come out as a girl long time.
But Magic's son is older though. He's way
older.
But
he came out when he
all
was
along. You never really hear about all
because he came out with. Let me just.
He probably come out at a time when it wasn't so popular. But to the whole aspect, these are cases where I know. Like I said, I work with kids, and there's this boy, African parents from Nigeria. That boy come to school, hey, Mr. Cohen, paint up this and that girl and whatever. When he goes home, he have to change up in voice, he have to rough up, and parents beat him to sickness. That boy is suicidal right now.
Yes.
They have to go, whatever. So it's like him can't say that to the parents, but that's also how he feels. That's how they feel. The boy, him don't want to be no macho man, him don't want to do certain things, him don't want when if you do any kind of basketball, gym teacher can't get him to play basketball. The boy don't want to that. He's like he's just
Absolutely.
like a girl. He just have certain things. So like I don't know what understand how him develop that. Oh, him learn that. He never learned that in him also. Because some of y'all are saying, okay, it's based on what he taught. He's from a strict African background. So they can't come to me that argument about what he learned.
Yeah.
Strict African background. And
Absolutely.
one or two cases where we tell you about. You
Hold on.
cannot tell those parents about it.
Hold on.
You
Ken,
understand me?
Hold on.
So where him get
just
that from?
before
Hold
I
on.
run off, Ken.
Social media.
Hold
So
on, Vince.
what
Go
those
ahead.
parents you prefer to go to that child's funeral than to support that child? Nah.
Absolutely. I think
And
that
I agree. I agree with Devin. And just before I run off, Kim, I just want persons to understand why I believe Dwayne Wade has failed his son. I believe my duty as a father, when I have my son, is to teach him how to be a man. Full stop. That's my job. That's my role. His mother cannot teach him how to be a man. No
True.
female can teach a man how to be a man. I am not saying that my child can't have that sort of desire. I want to do that. But my role, my job that I'm sticking to is teaching you how to be a man. It doesn't mean that I'm going to beat you down and kill you and you, because suicide for me is not necessarily the option. My love for my son and my children is unconditional and I love them. My love for them is not based upon what they do or not do. I love them full stop. You understand? I don't have to accept the lifestyle and they'll know that I don't accept it. But neither will I be furthering your lifestyle to say that I am supporting you. Because my job, my role as a man is to teach you what it is to be a man. Full stop. And that is why I say Dwayne Wade has failed his son.
Wade
Absolutely.
is living vicariously through his son.
From that
That's
perspective,
yeah.
I understand where I get that then.
Hey, put up back Kevin Jarrett's comment, please. And Jason Craig, I'm going to get to you right now.
Yeah,
Put up back Kevin Jarrett's comment, please, producer. I think he was saying something about as a father in America. Yeah. As a father with a son living in America, I've actually thought about this. If my child is under 18, then I have to sign any paperwork that says he wants to do surgery, and I will not. So, Mr. Jason Craig, obviously you're in the boat with us. We have no kids. All
Yeah.
we're talking about is hypotheticals, right? Because
Yeah.
we're geldings, right? So I want to know if your son or your daughter come to you, hey, Dad, I want to be a girl. Dad, I want to be a boy. What's the conversations like for you, Mr. Craig? What's the conversations like for you?
Well, under 18, it's an absolute no for me. It's an absolute no under 18. But the conversation would definitely involve counseling. To be honest, that's a scary conversation because it would have break any man's heart if your son come to you and say, "Oh, you want to be a girl." It would have literally break my heart. Me just tell my wife
True.
handle it. Like go handle it. Because me can't handle this. You know what I mean? Me too weak for that. But it's a tough conversation, but I would not support that decision at all. As in, I'd provide all the help you need, psychologically, counseling, everything you need, but for go ahead with that decision under the age of 18, I think that's reckless as a parent. As a parent, that's very reckless.
All right. So is there anyone on the panel right now who, if their child comes to them and say, hey, I want to be a transgender, they will go ahead and they'll support their child similar to what Mr. Dwayne Wade did? Anyone?
I would, but more not no surgery, nothing still.
Not
but
surgery.
More than likely, I probably would have support my youth. Over, I don't care about culture or whatever. Like for me, I couldn't care less if everybody else outside of my. I'm gonna say that, YouTube appropriate. But my job, I have to make sure I raise my youth, Zane, to be a productive, stable member of society. And I'm not gonna say it's something I'm not gonna do happily. I'm not gonna be so excited about it. But being real and like me, I play because I play the situation in my mind all the time. I play the situation of me having a daughter. I come home one day and my daughter and I'm also the man. And how me gonna react. And like you play it in your mind, and then the situation happens, you're like, it's different, So I don't know. But more than likely, I support my youth. More than
I agree. I definitely agree with you.
But if we
Corey.
just try to say, yo, try to learn, know about it, make sure, but not support the surgery thing still. You see me?
Yeah.
Honestly, the surgery for me, I mean, even if most transgender people, them actually do the surgery. You think them actually, you know, them will do the breast thing, but you think the man them will cut off them thing for real?
A lot of them
Some,
done it, as they explained.
Yo, that's fine, like that.
yeah, some do it, some don't do it. But
Wow.
Ryan, I'm tailoring this to
That's
both you
gone.
and Warren. Here is Shauna P saying, if your son becomes a scammer and buy a big house at Mercedes, would that break your heart? Would you be disappointed? Or that's okay as long as he's not gay? Any one of
Yes,
y'all
yes,
can take
yes,
it.
yes, no. Would it break
Yes,
my heart? Yes. Would
yes.
I be disappointed? Yes. Or is it okay? Whatever Sharks a while ago done, I think no is the answer to that. So it's not only the gay part alone that I mean it goes right across the spectrum. It
So,
is
Yes.
not
so
about
what?
just gay and if it person become a scammer or a murderer, I'm okay with that. No.
Okay, so as
Anything
a
that
scammer,
anything that I deem to be wrong, growing up that child that I thought them is wrong, and they become that, then yes, it will break my heart. Yeah.
all right,
Same here.
Warren, answer this question: is being transgender caused by an absence of male figure in the household a mental disorder, or is it a choice?
I believe it's a combination of a mental disorder and a choice. Because there's no way somebody of sound mind would want to change their gender from female to male or from male to female. I hear people talking about sex and gender being two different things. So you're born with a certain organ, so that which determines your sex, but your inner thoughts and what you feel inside you will determine your gender. So you're born with a vagina, but you feel masculine. Or you're born with a penis, but you feel feminine. So you act based on that. I believe that there's some hormonal imbalance in the brain that causes that. I don't think any normal person with a normal brain sees their genital and acts um contrary to the genital that they have. I think it must be some mental disorder. And I'm not
All
in
right,
support of that. And I would never support that from my child. And if my child is one of those transgenders, I wouldn't support the child in any way, and I wouldn't have anything to do with the child again.
no. Hold on, Warren. So you are saying if your child decides to be transgender, you are
Yeah.
done with the child.
Same time, no questions asked. Get out of my
So
house. Don't let me see you again. There's no question. There's no question. If I mean, I can't
Yo.
tell you what to do, but and I don't think I can counsel you out of it because once you go there, I can't steer you back. Once you have touched on that, I can't save you again. No counseling, no beating. That you can't be saved again. So once you have gone there, just get out of my sight and don't let me see you again. And I don't know you.
Oh, what is it? Transgender. Because, like, lesbian actually come back around to being straight person, but it's a transgender. Okay.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
so so there is nothing that child could do, Warren, to have you stay as your father.
No, I don't. I disown that child complete. That's not my child.
And wow,
There wouldn't be a conversation. They would just get out of my house and don't show up here again.
So you don't worry about where the child will go, Warren. What could happen to the child?
The
yeah.
most I would do is probably arrange you go by your sibling or something. I have a sister. Stay with my sister who is the auntie, but don't come to my house.
Warren, where do you live?
All
Where
right,
do I live
Yeah.
currently?
Yeah.
yeah. Live in Canada.
Canada.
Let me,
Oh.
yeah. Let me tell you something, Warren, about
You see
Canada.
them that talk there, you can't have them talk there America. Me can show you that.
Warren,
No
no,
man.
hold
No,
on. Let me
I'm not
tell you.
afraid. I'm not afraid to talk. They can't control me. Me will talk.
All right,
I
listen.
know what that
So
talk. You can't do that. They're gonna lock you up. A child abandonment. Thank you, Kevin Bernard. Thank
Kevin
you.
Bernard saying child abandonment
Thank
is a
you.
legal issue still. Listen,
I'm
Warren,
sure that
remember,
Canada too.
Warren, I was talking to you.
I'm not thinking about that. Not.
You
Listen.
can sign up him right. You can
I'm not
sign him
thinking about
rights.
those kind of
So like you're not
repercussions.
doing it for signing him rights.
You
So
can
what?
You want to do
actually
that.
you can actually divorce your child still and go
Mm.
the legal route to have no legal claim
Yes.
to the child.
There
Hold
it
on,
is.
Warren.
There's always a way,
Ah.
but I'm not gonna be forced to entertain it by any government.
All right, Warren, but listen, and I was telling you this earlier. There
Yeah.
is now a new law that's passed in Canada, right? And
Yeah.
you must know it. And the law states that if your child want to, and I'm paraphrasing, but if they want to be a transgender and you and your wife fighting against it, both you and your wife can do up to 5 years in jail. And that was an anonymous decision. So you are telling me now, Warren, that you are so disgusted by the transgender that you're willing for us to sit down in a jail 5 years.
Listen, I don't know what would happen to me, but in that moment, I'm not gonna be thinking about, I might go to jail for, I might this, I'm not thinking about that. One thing is clear in my mind: you're not staying here. So I will find a way to get around that, or I will deal with the consequences some other way. But no government is gonna force me to have my child come and tell them that I'm a transgender. They're not gonna stay here. So I don't know how I will deal with it. And I don't care which country I'm in, but it's not gonna happen.
All right,
I will find a way around it.
You rub a 5 years of prison. At that time, no way.
I don't know what is going to happen,
Yeah, that's
honestly.
weird though. It's weird though that the government is trying to tell you how you must parent.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna let that fear tell me how to raise my child. It's my child, it's not the government's child.
No, but then again, Warren, after you forfeit all, remember the child is transgender now, you don't want nothing to do with the child. So theoretically, it's not your child anymore.
Yeah.
Not really, but here is Shauna P also saying your transgender son would have more rights than you in Canada, and that's absolutely
okay, and that's fine. That's fine. But one thing is certain that I'm not competing for rights. Them can have all the rights them want, just not near me.
okay.
Yeah.
Boy, that one they lick me for 6. Nah, like, no.
Warren
Yeah,
can go
bro.
and talk, man. When he handcuff them and come finger prison, he must say something different.
All right,
No,
so
I'm not
now,
going to be different. No, I will never support it.
all right, so now we are going to go on a much lighter note because those first 2 topics were extremely heavy. The need for
Quickly, Kens, before you move on,
yes.
because I heard Corey said that you'd probably accept it. So, Corey, all right, you have a son, born as a boy, and then you decided you want to be a transgender. What sort of sexuality would you look at that person as now? A male, a female? What would you look at that person as now?
Yo, again, I don't want it to ever come off as if this is something that is like I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
But I've played so many. It's because I'm so different. I'm gonna pray the same. I'm gonna believe a lot of different things where like most, conventional people can believe and subscribe to already. So even when I did date my wife before we meet my wife, and like there are so many scenarios we playing in my head because I wanted to ensure that it's when we do this thing, we're up on the same page. You know what I mean? Or a waste of time. You see me? So for me, what I ended up doing was, all right, is either me accept me youth, or the alternative. And the alternative scares me way too much. So it's not like I'm so pro LGBT whatever. And oh gosh, you understand? It's like I choose the lesser of the 2 evil basically in my opinion. Basically, like Raggy said, me can't live without my youth. You see me? So he can't do it, me can't.
Fair.
That's the perspective where I come from.
Let me add to that. Let me add to that, Corey. Let me add to that. And also, let me tell you, from my standpoint, if I have a son that decides, you don't have to call me Dwayne Wade. Because me personally, my child, like, may I wear the dress. My son / daughter wear the dress. That is me. I wear the dress. I support my son or daughter in the streets.
But
like,
Kim, you support one of them things, so we know you kind of, you know what I mean?
Listen, there is no public scrutiny I could get that is big enough for me not to support my child.
Fair.
Like absolutely.
I don't doubt you for a second.
But here's the thing, Kim. When I make my decision, it's not because of the public scrutiny. It's just a personal choice. And why I had to clap Simba when he said when he was dating, I was playing all these things in his head, and he had a discussion with his girlfriend, his wife. Forgive me if I didn't get the title correctly. It's the
Well,
same thing.
girlfriend at the time, wife, no.
Okay.
Before we got
Same.
married, you know.
But it's the same thing. No, I am happy that my partner does not support that lifestyle. Because that has been discussed already. So it's not like I'm going to say, boy, go to your mother, let your mother deal with you. My partner, my fiance, is not the same thing. She no longer will have a child. She has said that. So it's not that I'm saying, oh, your parenting is wrong. Okay. I'm not saying that or whatnot. I'm saying that we don't have the same values, and the same way as another set of parents are tolerant, I'm just saying I have not had that tolerance, and I will never get that tolerance.
What would you do to child in Raji?
No, I'm saying not my child. So I will explore the legal avenues to ensure that individual is not my child. He can't have my name because my son will be a junior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just have to be.
Same way, Roger. Same way.
So I know Corey have to run soon, and I want to ask another question. But all I will say is that support from parents is probably our lack of support thereof is probably one of the biggest things I think is plaguing society right now. I believe if parents had support their child or their children, similar to how Dwayne Wade support his son or daughter, I think on a holistic level, I think we would be better off with the support. I think lack of support has been a huge thing. And I'm not talking only about gay, lesbian, and so. I'm just talking about the holistic approach. I think the support of parents, I think it's lacking deeply. But, we can talk about that another day. So, Corey, I want to ask you before you run, right? Because obviously, you're married and so. So, in the hypothetical, Corey, you're married to your wife and you find out that your wife can't get pregnant. You want a child, you want a son, you want a daughter, you find out that your wife can't get pregnant. Where do you go from there?
Some other conversation since week with a girl. Funny enough, all right. My wife family, may I probably say 50% of the women in my wife family like fertile, and the other 50. I'm gonna say fertile. It's all way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah.
Fertile 50 can't have you.
All right.
Some can, and then them end up losing it at some point. You know what I mean? But it just work out. Yeah. And we remember we had, and again, I tell you, like we had really deep conversations before we even get married. Because again, but it don't say, this marriage thing at one time kind of work out. I wore down the place for the rest of my life, but done. You see me? So, but you want to make sure that it makes sense, So, we talk about this, and I remember one time I talked to my father. And my father did ask me. My father said, so what if we just talk about it? Because they kind of worried, Because you want a youth.
Of course.
Love her. And I say, daddy, say, she can't have youth, but let's have to stick with her still. Rare. And then since we know, I talk to my wife after being the girl talk, and I say, you see, know that I have my daughter, the love and the feeling where you get, there's no comparison. But I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't know because I would have been willing at the time for just live with it. So, but now that I know, no way. You have to just be there and say, either you're going to go to the road and do a thing, you just know, say, Ray, or you just got it. But know that I know no, sir.
Okay. All right.
Feeling different.
I've heard that a lot. Jason Craig.
Yeah.
Do you want kids, boss?
Yeah, man, I do.
You do. You get married to a woman, you find out that she can't get pregnant. No matter what you try, can't get pregnant. What decision or what route do you take?
Well, I'd consider adoption. We consider some adoption route because it's something I have thought about. And of course, everybody want them here. Every man want them here. We have for them genes or whatever. However, living in a world, I don't want to abandon my wife if she can't reproduce.
Yeah.
I marry her because I love her, and that would just drill her deep into the ground, and more don't want to leave her like that. So it's something that I have been thinking about even when I was single. So if we find out that you can't have children, I'll just explore some adoption routes.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Do you believe if you are incapable of giving her a child, do you believe that she would stay around?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
We can ask you a question though. I think it different still, brother.
Yeah.
I think it different. I think that as a man, you're more of the son away. But you're more of the prize still, if you have to be real, as a man.
Mm-hmm.
You see me? Because as a man, yo, I didn't even just make a girl know you want to get married and you get married. Like, you see me? It's harder for a woman get a man to propose to her, really. Like, you see me? So, for me, but what do you want to ask you still, brother? Zane?
That's Jason you talk?
Yeah, you just
man.
say, brother, explore adoption.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, may I try?
And to be honest, I haven't, gotten to that bridge as yet. So who knows? Maybe my mind change, because people mind change. But right now, it's based on something I've thought about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where my mind is right now.
The only thing what I say is I don't consider it as you abandoning your wife. Because you basically...
All right, Corey, hold on. Pause 1 second.
Yes.
Token has a question.
Beat them, Token. Beat them.
Did I hear him correctly? He won't accept a woman that can't have a child, but he will accept a homosexual child. I didn't hear him well.
No, I never said I wouldn't accept her. I never said that. I said more want a youth. So either you gotta allow me to go out and do my thing, or if you decide you can't deal with that, then you go on your ways. It's not say me give an option. We both entered into this situation knowing that I want a youth. No, unfortunately, we find out that you can't give me one.
They don't talk about it.
So what am I gonna do?
Fair enough.
You want to say something?
Ryan.
So it's not like me not say I leave her.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
but
Ryan, let me get you in here, Ryan. Do you share the same sentiment as Jason Craig, or do you share the same sentiment as a Corey?
My sentiment is that A, you allow me to go outside and get one or two. B, what you mean? B, we go the surrogate route.
That's expensive, bro.
No, you can sit down there with woman and chat about, wait and sit down with her and come on one night and a man then they pipe it, bro.
What behave like men going outside is something abnormal.
Devin, go ahead.
Why in this day and age we've not talked about these things when there's so much technology? Like,
yeah, exactly. That's why I said that's why I mentioned the surrogate route.
No. But you have to consider the technology expensive.
All of the situation can be avoided. Before you get married, you go do a test, see if your sperm count high enough. The woman can do tests to figure out if you can have a child.
Devin, be honest. Did you do that before you get married?
Okay, be glad you asked. Glad you asked. Because I did it.
Nice.
Let me tell you now, kids. 2012. I get married, right? But I didn't know my wife from before, all right? So my son never born until 2014. But I was traveling back and forth between 2011 to 2014. So, me teach at Jamaica after I leave Georgia. So I just come up summer, come up during Easter, all of the holiday break them. Just come up, but baby no born, right? But before all of that, my wife had a child before. So but even though circumstances can change from the time she had that last child years ago. But I should say she can do it, but she didn't do her test. Yeah. And I stay home. Doctor tell me what I have to do it. Watch some porn. Do my thing.
Yeah.
Bring my sperm to the doctor. Doctor test that's why way over. Yes.
Yeah.
So I did it before.
Okay.
Check it out.
Yes.
Hold on, Devin. So Ryan, answer this question. Would you allow your wife to go outside and get a child?
No.
Back to the household?
No.
So you would want the permission to go
You heard
outside.
what I said first.
All
I
right.
said, let me go back over what I said. Option A is that we have a discussion about it. Me going out there to get one or two, and option B, surrogate. So that means we're going to have a conversation for option A, right?
Sorry, get a whole heap of money, boss. I
Yeah,
don't
tell
know.
you.
I don't know. Chicken feed money, A whole
Mm.
heap of money. So I'm thinking, well, for me, it would have to be option A for me. So Warren, let me get you
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
Do you want kids, Warren? Yes or no? Because I think
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, man. More want a youth.
All
More
right, you
matter of
want a
fact.
youth.
Yeah. More about 3, 4.
You want about 3, 4 youth. All right.
Yeah.
You find out.
When they say
You
youth,
find
Warren, like a son or youth, just generalize, male or female, don't matter.
Son and
kids.
daughters combination. Both son and daughters.
Okay, all
All
right.
right.
You want the perfect pair.
Yeah, man.
So let's say, Warren, let me ask you the question first. You find out that your sperm count is low, you're not able to reproduce.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you allow your wife to go out and get a child, bring in, or I guess a surrogate way, or if she's the one who is unable to get pregnant, would you want the permission to go out there and have a child out there?
All right. No and no. If I cannot give her a child because my sperm count is low, no, I would not appreciate her going out there and getting a child. I wouldn't appreciate that at all.
And would you want to go out there if she couldn't get pregnant?
Well, I would want that child, but I would also want the child to be with her. So if I can't get it from her, then I would have to do without it because it's not the same. I have my wife at home and I have a woman, I have a child or children with another woman or other woman. It's not the same. I want to have a family oriented household. I don't want to go out and have a child with a woman who is not my wife. So as much as I want a child, if it's not with her, I just won't bother.
All right. And Raggy, how do you feel about that?
If I have low sperm count,
Right now, so you're getting married right now.
yes,
Getting married. After
Yes.
you get married, I don't know if you do the test like Devin. Because I don't.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know many persons who are going to go and do that test because I've
I
never
never
thought
think
about
about
that
it.
ever.
Yeah.
So Raggy, you find out that she can't get pregnant, but you want a child.
Mhm.
What's the next step?
Ball. Because there's nothing else I can do. Ball. I don't necessarily believe in the adoption because personally adopting a child and having a child who I adopt, it's going to be night and day from what I would have expected because I really want, children. If my wife is unable to give me children, all I can do is cry. Like I wouldn't want to get children. I'd have to do without. And if I am, low sperm counts and I am unable to, impregnate my wife, all I can do is ball. All I can do is ball. There's nothing else to do. I haven't done the test, but I don't want my wife going out to get impregnated by some other sperm, and I'm not going to leave my marriage to get another child or to get a child with somebody else. It's just not the same to me personally.
Not the same.
And although I can afford to adopt someone and provide a comfortable life for a child, it's not the same as the child being born from my wife. So I wouldn't do it. So I would just be childless. It would hurt.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So the last topic that we're going to talk about, obviously, we have been on child and marriage and stuff, so we're going to stay the course. I want to know about. I think Ryan was the one who brought it to me actually.
Yeah.
About the surname, right? When your wife get married, is it? I don't even like to use the word mandatory again from the last episode that we have, but the change in a last name. How important is that to you? And I'll start with you, Ryan. How important it is that when you get married to this woman, that she takes on your last name. She is now a Lawson, and she don't say, "Oh, I want to keep my last name." How important it is to you that she has your last name?
She can keep her last name, but she also have to take my own. At the very least, she have to take my own because when you're married, you now become a family. You're now a union. So how is it that you want to be married, but you just want to have your last name alone? How that makes sense? If you want to do that, marry your father, marry your brother, marry a cousin with the same last name. Something. Since you want to keep a last name, do that. But I can't be married to somebody and they're like, oh, I don't want your last name. Then what was the sense of all of this anyway? What is the sense of the union? It has to be. It has to happen.
But
There's no,
Ryan, there will be pushback that hey, are, are you marrying me for the right reasons? Do you want to get married to me for me just to have your last name, or do
isn't
you
the
actually
right
want a
reason?
marriage?
Isn't the right reason to be for it to be a union? I'm saying it's a simple task, you know.
Yeah.
I have no problem with her wanting to keep her last name as well and
Uh-huh.
adjoining mine to hers. I have no problem if she even wanted children to have her last name along with mine, a double barrel last name. I don't mind any of those, but at the end of the day, my last name has to come in play. It can't be a situation where we are a union but we are still separate. That don't make any sense.
All right. So, does anyone on the panel has a problem with hyphenated last names?
To me, no matter. Like for me, it don't matter in name or it to me it's more important to get a son or a daughter. My name can continue. That's more important. You get what I'm saying? You have some people now like they always. All right, let me show you how I find this. So I used to have this coworker by Knox. Her name is. Let me not use her right name. All right, let me give her. All right, let me give you some name. Name Gray. And like so the husband name White and the name Gray White. Two color name, the last name color. Like the happy of it. Just drop your first name. Still want to keep name Mrs. White.
Yeah.
Or black brown. You get what I'm saying? Or yellow purple. Just drop the yellow and just have Mrs. Purple. But you just want to insist on have it. It's not that big of a deal. And to me that kind of sound.
Yeah.
No
I
big deal to
agree.
me. Just simple. No.
So Raggy, you're saying that your lady must drop her name and take on yours. No hyphenated names.
Most.
All right.
Most.
Wonderful.
Most.
So tell us. So tell us why. Because Tolkien is saying that. Tolkien here is saying that it is important. It is important for her name to be hyphenated in honor of her biological father. But you say to hell with your biological father. You're now with me. We are now moving on in our union, and I need you to have my last name. Can you please explain why it is so important? Why it is so important to you, and why you won't waver on that?
All right. So with marriage, I replace the role of her biological father. I am the central male figure in her life.
Yeah.
Legally and in every sense of the word. So because of that, it has to be my last name, and I refuse to share my surname with any other name. That's it. So if and this is something that we would have had to have discussed clearly before, you know. So if that's not on the table, then we just won't be married. But we won't be married, and then you keep some other man's surname.
So Raggy, you are willing to forfeit the marriage if she won't take your last name.
But I'm saying that's something that would have been discussed in detail long before.
Yeah. No,
so
yeah, I understand.
It won't get to that point where we're putting off the marriage. It just won't get to that point. The thing is that if a female is telling you that she wants to keep her name because it's in honor of her father, to me personally, and I might sound a little way with the rest of the panelists, I don't think she's ready for another man to take the role and the place of her father and to be that only male in her life. You can't just say that.
That's a little bit too drastic, though. But
that's fine, that's fine. What I'm saying is a personal view, because if her view is that she keeps her name because it's in honor of her biological father, the father plays no role.
So look at this. Look at this, Raggy. So Shanila Ellis is saying, I lost my dad, so I would not drop my last name. The name has to be hyphenated. So in a situation like that, say no marriage for Shanila.
To me, because nobody lives forever. What's going to happen? What if Shanila's dad was alive? No. She got married. Her dad died tomorrow. Is she going to change her name because he died? We have to stop being a little stupid. And I'm not calling Shaniela stupid. I'm just saying the reasoning that we're proffering have to be a little better than that. Come on now.
I mean, so I understand the point. I understand the point that you're making to say, okay, if you get married today and then the dad died tomorrow, are you really, are you going to go back? I understand that, but I believe personally, trust me, if she want to keep her last name, she can. These things are trivial things to me. These things are foolish.
So
If you want, you can
you're
keep.
Mr. and Mrs. Who now?
Huh?
Again, Reggie, we don't need all of that. We don't need all of the excitement. We don't need all of that. If she want to keep her last name, Brown, Staley, whatever her last name is, if she wants to keep that.
Did she keep her last name?
Who?
Never mind. Moving on.
I would even take my wife's last name because you have men who do that too.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. And Tash was asking that why don't they take the woman's last name?
Of course, but
here is Stockport saying, I tried to hyphenate my last name, but the US government didn't allow it when I migrated. So she had to change.
They change up that now, man.
Yeah, I agree with you, Devin. Would I even take the wife's last name?
Okay.
Yes, man.
I mean, again.
Right.
And here is Vincent Irvin said, I am with you, Devin. I think the name thing, all is said and done, I believe it is an ego business.
So you don't believe that names are important. You don't believe that there's no meaning to names.
As Devin said, it is more important. It is more important for my son have my last name than my wife.
Yes, sir.
But if
again, your wife take your last name. All right, Raggy.
No, hold on,
Ryan. Right, Raggy, listen to this. Your wife take your last name. A year later, you and her divorce. What happened after that? What happened after that?
All right, put it this way. Look at it this way. Adele did divorce her husband, and her picking get her last name after the divorce. Then how that go now? You and your wife divorce, and then she got change the name of the picking too. Since it is so important that the child have the last name, then you divorce your wife, and then she give the child her last name. Then how you feel about that?
So since there's no significance to a surname, why you even
exactly?
Exactly.
No. So the significance.
I want my child my last name. So what?
Exactly because
I'm divorced. And what happened?
She divorced and then she changed it, put the last name to hers.
But can she change it without the father consent? As she have sole
probably. She live in a woman country, England.
Yeah, so then we have no control over that, brother. We have no control.
Probably not.
You can't
probably not
have control over.
Probably not. Men have rights.
But if I can fight that, I would.
Unfortunately,
because I'm my son, I'm the daughter to have my last name.
Where you stay from asking man have rights?
No, not even. Listen, Devin. Not even my daughter as much as my son. Because my daughter get married, when my daughter reach 18, 19, 20, whatever, and get married, she change her name too. But my son name, that's going to carry on generation. But my wife, that don't live on, go nowhere. So again, the marriage is more important to me. The marriage is more important to me than a last name. That does me.
David and Kebs.
And take your wife's name, man.
All right, David and Kebs, I have a question for both on Zine because since I not willing to take on a wife name, Zine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of intertwining with these topics now because remember a topic that we discussed earlier on. So all right, would you guys be all right with your wife proposing to you?
Of course.
Your girlfriend then to propose to you.
Oh yeah, we talk about that, of course.
Yeah, the mother show up on Oprah Winfrey channel, own network. It's all about that the woman proposing to the man, of course.
course.
Good
I
for
mean,
enough.
we spoke about that topic, and I was one in favor of it, of course.
No, man. Remember
If
that you remember that the ladies were trying to beat you on the topic, you know. You
no,
decided to
because
change your
no,
opinion.
because Wooden Spoon said a particular thing, and I didn't agree with that particular thing. But in the general sense of it, I am okay with it. A woman go down on her knees and propose. I am sticking out my finger, and I'm saying,
Yeah, man.
yes, shaking my head, yes,
Well,
and
yeah,
I am
man.
proposed to, and will propose. Like I have absolutely no problem at all.
Hey, Kim's not easy.
And
No,
if you don't
easy.
want to laugh and say, ah ha ha,
Yeah,
the woman
laugh.
proposed to him.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
so what?
What?
I will be
Life goes
personally
on now.
laughing.
I mean, for me, life to me, life goes on. Life goes on. Life goes on. So, hey,
You know,
but
nice Ryan Daly with a sound. So you meet your wife and she name last name Daly, Ryan.
yeah,
Ryan Daly.
Ryan Bailey.
That sounds so
Imagine,
nice.
yeah, Ryan Bolt.
Sounding like Leon Bailey.
What?
Ryan, what exactly are they saying?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
So
All
you meet
right,
a woman
so
and she name her last name is Daly. You could just take her name Ryan Daly. That sounds better than Ryan last name to me.
Yeah, they
No,
make it shaky. Yeah, they
there is
actually
all right,
there is
left.
there is history to my last name, so it's still.
hey,
Yeah.
I didn't get your take on this one. You know, how you feel about the last name business? Is it a big deal to you, or is it like, hey, I
Me
just want to be
share,
married?
me share the same sentiment with Raji. Raji me share the same. However, I'm a bit more lenient with her last name concatenated. But when we get married, I'm now playing the role of your father as your protector and your provider and things. So it has to be our representation that yeah, you are my wife.
Mm.
So I want Shanila Ellis and I want Toki and Graham. I want you guys to respond to Raggy and Jason Craig really quickly. You know, they said that the hyphenated thing, get out of here with that.
No,
I
I
am now
said
the new.
okay with the hyphenated.
Oh, you okay?
Oh, no,
Okay, Raggy.
all right.
So
Oh,
he's with me then,
yeah,
and the
Raggy said
hyphenated.
get out. Raggy said get out of town. I don't want that. If you need hyphenated name, you are not ready for marriage. You are still a little girl. You
To
need to grow
me,
up.
to me, to
So
me.
I'm
You
saying it
know
to
Yo,
that.
you.
you see the thing is doing
Yeah,
some girl like them sense of identity because say for instance them achieve everything like
With
degree
that name.
awards, blah 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 with them name. Like
yeah.
I know a prominent woman by the university who keeps her last name. So when persons are referring to her, they refer to her by her maiden last name, but it's concatenated. But everything in the office,
I have zero issue with that.
it has her original last name because they want to maintain them sense of identity.
No
Yeah,
issue with that.
but yeah,
But
it
just
is.
know that when I'm married, my name after that.
Raggy
Simple.
Yeah.
said,
Same
Raggy
thing with it,
said,
Ryan.
Raggy said, when you're married, there is no individual business. You are now me, I am now you.
I
And I
can
just saw it work
simple,
out.
simple, 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 simple.
All right, gentlemen. So now I'm going to give you guys 1 minute because you know we're about to wrap up. If you guys never get, if you guys wanted to add on a particular topic, you know now is your time to do so. Just want to thank everyone in the comment section who was listening, who was watching, who was beating us. I really appreciate it. But Warren, go ahead, boss. And
Yeah.
I want to see if you change your stance on that transgender child. So you can add this to your minute if you change your stance. All right.
Why am I pressure if I change it? You
All
Warren?
right. Well, Kevin, no,
Real
me not change it. Me not change it. But still hold on to that belief. I don't want anything to do with that kind of child. So that's not gonna change. But what I really want to talk about is the very last thing that we were talking about in terms of last name.
Yep.
Um, yes, my wife she would have to have my last name included. So if she wanna keep her maiden name and have a double barrel name with mine, that's fine with me. So, but my last name has to be included when you call her name, right? So if she wants to have her maiden name and followed by my name, that's fine. I mean, her last name, she born with it, she grew with it, and that's her identity from long time, and I'm gonna take that from her. But
So when persons are addressing her, do they have to address her by your last name as well?
um, I wouldn't say have to. I wouldn't make it a big issue if them addressing her. But on
Okay.
paper, I would like to see my last name there on paper. So, like on some official document, I would like to see my last name. on an official document. Now, if she's just talking to people and them call her by whatever her maiden name is and even leave off my name, it's whatever. Them don't know, so I'm married already. No big deal. Call her by her maiden name if you want. But on paper, I would like to see my last name there
And
because me have
one quick
somebody too.
question.
You understand? Me and
One
no ghost.
All right, one quick question, Warren.
Yeah.
Should the woman should the woman decide, should you and her get a divorce, right?
Yeah.
If you two get a divorce and she decides to say, okay, I want to keep the last name. No. Are you okay with that? She keeping the last name even if you two are not together.
Keep it what? My last name?
Yeah, keep it because you know that's a thing. They can still
Why would
keep
she
it
want to do
for
that?
all they want. Because she can't bother now go change over all the documents, all
Oh,
of
but I
that,
better she
all of
stay with me then. Where she
But
go? Where she
divorce
left me and
in
die with my last name? Oh, she
Kems,
left me
divorce
and
in
die with my
changing
last name.
document. Divorce
I
in you
see.
automatically change document because you're divorced. The
all right.
mere fact what you
No,
do.
we have to go back. She have to go back to
That's
factory setting.
you have
Reset
all
button.
right. The reason why I asked Warren, there's a lady at my job. Lady
Yeah.
divorced 8 years now. She still have her husband last name up to this day. Now that them call her, that's on every single document. She said she can't bother change social security, change
Mm.
this, change all of that. She just can't bother with that. So she just keep the last name and people just know her as that forever. The
Mm-mm.
ex-husband
No, I
push
find that
her to
very
change it.
strange. I
Give them
find
back
that
memory
very
lane.
strange. I would have want her to go through the process and
Yeah.
go back to the factory setting. Don't take my last name go nowhere.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, go ahead, boss.
Another good show, good topics. As usual, Kems is being very far left. I tend to be the centrist. I and we all know how Raggy stay already. Raggy and Kems are day and night apart in terms of how them settings. So
Yeah.
a good mixture panel. The panel is a good mixture. The guys that came on, they did very well in terms of adding their opinion. It's nice to when we basically change panel sometime, bring in new people, new opinions, especially when we have the ladies on. You know, so some of the time they're gonna say something more outlandish. But at the end of the day, it's a good mixture to have, and it keeps the fans entertained. And we kind of also need to grow the comment section. I realize that it seems to be growing. There's more comment. We need to like, subscribe more, and so forth. But yeah,
Absolutely.
another good episode, and keep this thing going. And I know that next week we will have another engaging topic, or
Absolutely.
topics
Absolutely.
rather, since we tend to do 3 or 4 topics a night.
Absolutely. Mr. Cohen, go ahead, because I know you have to attend to your daddy duty. So go
All
ahead,
right, no,
boss.
man, give me son a minute. Come right here. Come. Son is 7.
Let us see
Come,
if you
go
can
ahead.
tell us what
No,
you
no, no,
learned,
no,
son.
no. Go ahead.
Well, I think gay is nasty because how gay works is like that. A man kisses a man and a woman kisses a woman, and a man is supposed to kiss a woman.
Yeah. Straight. Straight. Yeah, you. Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well thought.
You say, you're training him the right way, boss.
Right way.
I saw
Right there too.
interpret it for now. If later don't things change, no problem.
No, man, you'll stay that way. Trust me.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Proud.
Raggy, go
All right.
ahead, boss.
So, I'm not like the weather. My views won't change, right? Son can't tell me that. Simple. I'm gonna grow him properly. Can't be a criminal. Can't be a dunce. Can't be illiterate. Can't be gay. It's just one and the same. He's gonna be a reflection of me and a better
Absolutely.
version of me, which is kind of hard to do, but it's him. That's how it's gonna be. As it relates to the surname, to be honest, you know how I stay already, people. I don't believe in a divorce. But let's assume, by some miracle, no, baby, I don't believe in a divorce. All right? By some miracle, there's a divorce. I know she's gonna keep my last name. I'm a big deal. I'm big. My last name, have it.
Yes,
Yeah.
winter them.
Yeah, it's a value. No, but on a serious note,
That's just a season.
yeah, but on a serious note, though, I really, this is something that we also had discussed. Why I don't know this. Well, every day I thank God that the fiance that I have is the one that I have. And to be honest, she believed in what Demo had spoken about, you leave your mother and your father, and you leave and cleave, so the two become one flesh. So you're now legally one person. I don't know why we always have the double barrel names. I've never been a fan of it. I've always wondered why some women want to keep, their maiden names and attach it to the married name. And I've also even wondered why women don't want to take a married name. I've always heard that some women want to keep their identity, but it's like we're not understanding the real reason of a marriage. There's no more you in the marriage. It's one. It's one identity. It's one account. It's one everything. So I don't understand that. There's no individualism in it. And because I'm in this culture, in this society, where when you get married, the woman takes the surname. Sure. If I was in Africa or Spain or, I don't know, Portugal, perhaps that would be different. But I'm not. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
So
for Jason Craig, right? Definitely first time here. Really appreciate your views. Really appreciate you being here. And definitely you're welcome at any point in time, whenever you're free, whenever you have time, come through and share your views. But now is your time to talk, boss. 1 minute you can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. If you have music video, if you're a selector, whatever you talk about, whatever in your 1 minute.
All right. Give thanks for the invite this time, gentlemen. It was a very informative discussion and very engaging. I like the views, I like the passion. As it regards last name, you already know my views on that. But one thing I'd like to speak about is the whole adoption. Like, I believe a whole heap of youths out there want a home for staying, and a whole heap of youths want some love and things. So even if I had children with my wife, I'd still consider adoption, because a whole heap of them just need a home and just need some love for embrace them and things, isn't me?
Absolutely.
That's it. Share the love.
All right.
Share the love.
Absolutely. So guys, we will be back next week, of course, for episode 10, season 1. Definitely thank you guys. Big up to the producer. Continue to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.
All right, boss. Come on.